our mental health, because for some this has presented a business opportunity. For many, long-term lockdowns has made us realise how important friendships are, and dating apps are adapting to these changes. So, for example, Tinder and Bumble are launching or acquiring new services focused entirely on making and maintaining platonic relationships. So why are people turning to dating apps for friendship, and how big an opportunity is this? Well, let's talk this through with dating coach Haifa Barbari. Welcome to the programme. So Tinder, Bumble, moving into this whole area of using their app to find friends. What's going on?
Right, exactly. I think they've capitalized on a fantastic opportunity, especially during the pandemic. The loneliness statistics have been on the rise for years, but it's been exacerbated by the pandemic. And unfortunately, the other online platforms out there are just incredibly time consuming. So looking online to find new friends is nothing new. But with Bumble and Tinder, the hyper easy functionality of swiping and directly focusing on meeting like-minded people has saved people a lot of time, and has actually been a savior during the pandemic. And there's been an increase in both men and women using them. 83%, I believe, men using uptake in Bumble, and 44% of women in the last year alone.
And to what extent do we know how many of those are looking for friendship and how many of those are looking for love?
That's the directly friendships, people looking for friendships. But that's actually, Sally, a great point. The challenge with dating apps, and what people often come to me about, is the fact that it alienates half of the population, because by the very nature of it being dating apps, people who are in relationships are avoiding using them. But life doesn't stop because you're in a relationship. So I see that the future, there's a huge opportunity for this, that it will be integrated in other platforms where people have shared interests and already know that they're aligned on beliefs and values, which really connect relationships, and all the same with friendships.
And just explain, Haifa, what men look for and why they use these apps to a great degree, because I thought it was quite interesting as I was reading some of your analysis on men and how they find making friends quite tricky.
Absolutely. So with men and women, we want the same things: friendships, connections. They're fundamental human needs. However, we approach things differently. More men lurk in the shadows, and I know this directly because of more men have signed up to my coaching app prior to launch and download all the coaching guides. And 83%, so double the amount of men, have been joining the dating apps to meet friends. And there's this sense of bravado. So when I coach men, there's a sense of bravado, needing to feel like they have to have it all together. There's a lot of pressure. So lurking in the shadows and going online is something that they feel more comfortable with. But I sincerely hope with news like this that we can encourage people to come out of the shadows, men, women, regardless of age, sexual orientation. Loneliness and love does not discriminate. So let's put ourselves out there.
Well, we put ourselves out there. In the meantime, companies are making a heck of a lot of money. I mean, just reading about Match Group, which owns Tinder and Hinge, it's paid $1.7 billion this year for a South Korean social media firm called Hyperconnect. I mean, they see this, don't they, as big business going forward? And it is really, isn't it?
Absolutely. And Facebook has integrated dating. It's not going to be long for friendships as well. And it's really, people have a lack of time. And you know, with work being always on, burnout is on the rise. People want to use their time efficiently. And I think with investing in technologies and platforms where people can meet online and cut through the clutter, and although on one hand it's really nice to leave things for chance, but with the pandemic it's harder to meet people in person. So these are great new solutions to solve old problems. And something that I've noticed as well is there's still a stigma around using online platforms, but I think that with everything, with anything new, particularly these new functionalities, there will be a judgment. But once you try it, once you do it, more people
We're running out of time, I'm afraid. Thanks so much for being on the programme. Appreciate it. Thank you too for your company. Have a lovely day and we'll see you soon.